Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm going to be going over all the video game pickups I did for the month of July and August. It was a very hectic 2 months. We actually had a hurricane hit in my city. Luckily, everything turned out fine. No major damages, so we were very fortunate that, our family, didn't get the worst of the hurricane, which is why I'm combining both July and August, because I honestly don't remember what I picked up for the month of July. I picked up games, I just don't remember when. So this video is going to be a little bit everywhere, a little bit unorganized compared to my other ones. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started and see what games I picked up for the month of July first. So if I remember correctly, this was actually the 1st of July. I think this is probably the only one that I kind of remember roughly when I picked these games up, but I believe at this time they were having at GameStop the buy two get one free on all pre-owned games. I took advantage of that and I checked out their older gen stuff, PlayStation 360, and I managed to find a couple of games on the PS3 section. First up is Dead to Right Retribution on the PlayStation 3. Personally, I'm not too familiar with the series, but it looked interesting. I've heard of this series, I've just never took interest in it, but it was a game that they had that I don't really see out there, so I decided to pick this one and make it part of the buy two get one free. Next up, Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate for the PlayStation 3. I'm not too familiar with the Dead or Alive series. I just know it plays similar to Tekken. It's another fighting game, but I think this one actually includes a couple of guest characters in here. As you can see, it has Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, and I don't know who this guy is. I know he's from Virtual Fighter, so that's another guest character, I'm assuming. And it's not a game that you really see out there too often, so I decided to pick this game up and add it to the PS3 collection. And lastly, Stardew Valley on the Nintendo Switch. I've been wanting to get this game. This was the highest of the three, so I paid for this one. But I don't remember what the prices of the other ones were, but one of them was free, but I know this one definitely wasn't free because this was the highest one. That first off was definitely worth it and very happy to have these and add them to the collection. Now, if you're a Switch collector like me, I know there's probably some games on your list that you want to add to the collection. That's probably hard to find out there at GameStop, but I pretty much keep my hopes up and one day trying to see if I can find some of these games on my wish list. And luckily, at this GameStop, I was able to find a game that I've been wanting to add to the collection, and that game is One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 on the Nintendo Switch. I love the One Piece anime. I started watching the One Piece live action on Netflix. This game plays similar to the Warrior style games, like Dynasty Warriors or Hyrule Warriors. So pretty much with One Piece characters. It plays pretty smooth on the Switch. I'm not sure if this requires like stronger hardware to run smoother, but honestly, it plays perfectly fine on the Switch. If you like Warriors hack and slash games, then this is definitely a game to pick up, especially if you're a One Piece fan. Now, I know I said I was going to hold off on buying games day one, especially new release games, but this one I kind of had to buy it, especially because I didn't know if I was going to ever see it again out there, especially because it's from a publisher that, really doesn't last out there at GameStop. And that game is Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak on the Nintendo Switch. Now, NIS games do not last long on GameStop shelves. I know my local GameStop didn't get any extra copies of this game. They keep telling you, or at least they keep telling me, they're like, if people do not pre-order these niche title games, they won't even send GameStop a copy or two. Unless somebody pre-orders one, they'll probably send an extra one, but they won't send them at all if nobody pre-orders them. And I know NIS has a history of, later on aftermarket going for a higher price. Kind of just bit the bullet on this one and decided to pay the full $60 for this brand new release game. I probably wouldn't have bought this if I wasn't already playing the series. I'm actually playing through Trails from Zero, another brand new release game that I didn't think I was gonna buy, but really $60 for this version of this game that comes with a lot of extra stuff I thought was a pretty good deal. That is the Nintendo World Championships NES edition on the Nintendo Switch, a game that contains a bunch of classic NES games where you pretty much try to beat the times, do trial runs and stuff. I also like that I get to play a bunch of other NES games that I've never played before, like the Kid Icarus or Ice Climber. 2 more Nintendo Switch games added to the collection. Very happy to have these. Now, this pickup is probably a pretty crazy one, or at least one that I never thought I'd ever add this game, if you could consider it a game, to the collection. I actually did a trade with a local video game vendor here in my city. I had traded in some games that I had that were extra, or games that I probably saw myself not really playing. I managed to make a deal and I picked up probably a holy grail Nintendo Switch item game I'll just show you. Well, before I show you that item, let me show you a game that I also picked up from that vendor. First up is Super Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know a lot of people do not like this Mario Party. Superstars is far better than this one. Got this through trade. I traded in a couple games to this vendor. We did a little trade and pretty much nothing out of pocket. And a pretty neat pickup, and that is the Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light on the Nintendo Switch. This is a collector's edition. This doesn't actually have a physical game. This is actually it has just a bunch of goodies, you know, a lot of collector stuff that I'm gonna be opening pretty soon. That's really why I wanted this. When I saw it at the vendor's booth, I was pretty, you know, surprised to see it, because you don't really see this out there too often, especially not sealed. This is sealed. We did a couple trades. I traded in a couple games with him, and I paid a little bit out of pocket for this collector's edition, or whatever edition this is. Again, this isn't actually, there isn't no Nintendo Switch physical game in here. There's a digital code for the Shadow Dragon game that you can download and only get it through, I guess if you buy this. You can't buy that game digitally on the eShop, so the only way to play that Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light game on your Nintendo Switch is to get this collector's edition. I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me. I'm pretty sure this is the only way you can get it. But I really wanted it as well, because I'm gonna be opening it soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to display it somewhere on the shelf. So yeah, these two added to the collection. Very happy to have these. The last items I believe I picked up for the month of July. There's definitely a lot of good quality Switch games for the month of July. But let's see how August did now. But before we get to the games that I picked up for the month of August, if this is your first time watching and you're brand new, welcome. My name is Norman, and I go by Chill Collects here on YouTube, where I primarily focus on collecting games for the Nintendo Switch. So if you enjoy content like this, video game pickups, Nintendo Switch talk, Nintendo Switch game pickups, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and continue. Alright, so for the month of August, Gamestop actually had a deal going on, which was the 4 for 20 and 4 for 40 deal, I believe. Another great deal that GameStop has. Definitely a great way to bulk up the video game collection. I managed to find a couple games to add to the collection, as well as a double. First up is Shin Megami Tensei 3 for the Nintendo Switch. I have yet to play a Shin Megami Tensei game. Maybe playing this one will get me into this series. Sonic Colors Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch. Another great Sonic game from what I've heard. This is the definitive way to play Sonic Colors. I believe this originally came out on the Wii, the 360, and PS3. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Not too familiar with it, but a Sonic game to add to the collection. My Hero 1's Justice on the Nintendo Switch, an anime fighter game. I actually used to have this game, but I ended up trading it in a couple years ago. It's definitely a good game. Now I need to find My Hero 1's Justice 2. Ni no Kuni 2 on the Nintendo Switch. I already have this game, but there was really no other games out there that I kind of wanted to the collection, so I figured I'd pick this one up just in case somebody else needs one. I could use it for a trade or something. Now, a game that I bought separately that wasn't for the 4 for 40 is Tactics Ogre Reborn on the Nintendo Switch. Another game that I actually used to own, but honestly, at first when I played it, I kind of didn't really like the play style, or I don't know, I couldn't get myself into this game. I love tactical RPGs, you know, turn-based games, but I don't know, for some reason, maybe it was the art style or just the way it looked, I just couldn't get too into the game. So I decided to pick it up and add it back to the collection and maybe give it another try. This is really also another game that you don't really see out there too often. I'm pretty sure I've seen this before sell for under 30 bucks, like in the 20 bucks. And now it's going back up in price. I bought it or paid 36 for it. So I don't know, maybe, you know, maybe one day this game will be a hard to find game or a rare game. I'd rather pay for it now than later on having to hunt it down and pay for it more. 5 more games added to the Nintendo Switch collection. A lot of great titles in here. Very happy. This next GameStop trip, again, GameStop was still doing their 4 for 40 deal, so I managed to find a couple of great games to add to the collection. A lot of games from older gen. First up on the 360, I have Hellboy: The Science of Evil, a Konami title. It was complete in nice condition, and for $10, I decided to pick this one and add it for the 4 for 40 deal. Two Worlds 2 on the 360. Never played the game, but it was very cheap, in great condition, so I decided to add it for the deal. Viva Pinata Party Animals on the 360. I remember this game. Nostalgic to me, actually. When I first got my 360, this was one of the first games I played. This is essentially just you know, a Mario Party clone, but with Viva Pinata characters. If you've never played this game, this is definitely a game to play with friends. Really cool game. Definitely check this one out. And you know, it was pretty cheap for $7. Legendary on the 360. Another great title, first-person shooter. I remember this one fondly. I think I actually rented this one from the Red Box. You know, for $7, I figured I'd pick this one up in great condition, in a nice box. Never Dead on the 360. I've never heard of this game. It's a Konami title. I decided to pick it up. I figured this one had some sort of value. Definitely interesting. The art style on the cover art definitely piqued my interest. It's kind of giving me like Bayonetta vibes. If you know about this game, please let me know how this game is. I'm very excited to try it out. I'm going to hook up my 360 pretty soon and play some of these. Nier on the PlayStation 3, the only PS3 game that I picked up from this run. A very clean copy. They actually had 2 copies there. The one that was on the shelf and another one inside their drawer. And they actually gave me the better copy. The very clean copy with no stickers. Square Enix game. I don't know anything about it. Let me know in the comments down below if this is a great game to check out. Maybe I'll pop it in soon. Streets of Rage 4 on the Nintendo Switch. Another side-scrolling beat-em-up game. I've never played any of the Streets of Rage games, but I do love me some side-scrolling beat-em-up games. There's also another game that a couple of content creators have recommended to add to the collection as a Switch collector, so I decided to pick it up for the Nintendo Switch, and it was also $20, so it fit perfectly for that 4 for $40 deal. And a brand new release game, Super Alloy Rangers on the Nintendo Switch. I know I said I wasn't gonna pick up brand new release games, but when they're this cheap for $35, I just had to pick it up. A game that you really don't see out there often. This was the last copy that they had in store. It's almost like, it's like a Mega Man clone, you could say. This one, it was like a shadow drop, I believe. I didn't hear anything about it being released, but at that time when I picked up those games, it had just dropped that day on that Friday, so I decided to pick it up for $35, giving it a try. A lot of great games from that store. Very happy with all of these and can't wait to play some of these 360 games. Alright, so this GameStop trip was PlayStation based. First up, Heavy Rain Director's Cut on the PlayStation 3. It was a nice complete copy. I remember when the PlayStation Move released on the PlayStation 3, this game was heavily promoted to use that PlayStation Move controller. I've never played it, but I think this is the definitive version to play the Heavy Rain game. I think they have it released on the PlayStation 4. They have that collection, but for $7 for a nice complete copy of Heavy Rain Director's Cut, I decided to pick it up. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life on the PlayStation 4. This is the Essence of Art edition, which has this cool sleeve. The case is actually like a little art book, which is pretty neat. There's the game, and here's some of the art from the case. I've never played any of the Yakuza games, but I started collecting them recently. My brother's trying to get me into it, so I figured I started picking them up now, especially with the announcement of Yakuza Kiwami on the Nintendo Switch. And finally, Persona 5 Tactica on the PlayStation 5. I actually already have this on the Switch, but this was actually on sale for $20 right now, or at the time of this recording. They still have this game for $20 brand new. So if you have not played this game, I would definitely recommend you guys picking it up. I think $20 is like the perfect price for this Persona 5 Tactica game. 3 more PlayStation games added to the collection. Very happy with all these. And for the last stop for the month of August, I picked up one game, which is actually a bundle. So it's actually 2 games. It includes the Wonder Boy collection and Wonder Boy, Asha, and Monster World. It's just such a weird bundle. You don't really see games bundled up like this. Actually, I already have Asha and Monster World, but it is the strictly limited version that I bought from GameStop. You can see it has 2 different cover arts and the spines are completely different, which means I'll probably end up trading this one if anybody's interested in, or you know, I'll probably just ended up trading it back at GameStop. Also, here's another collection that I had bought I believe last year. This was on sale for $20. I missed out on the Wonder Boy for $20 back then. I was only able to find this one, but there's one more double pack bundle that's out there, and I think it's the Cotton bundle that includes 2 Cotton games, but 2 out of 3. I'm just missing that one more bundle that I need to find out there. But yeah, very happy with this stop, and you know, the last game that I picked up for the month of August. And those were all the video game pickups I did for the month of July and August. Again, it's kind of just spread out everywhere. It was a busy 2 months, especially July, but you know, we made it. We're finally in September. Hopefully I can get another video out soon. I want to touch on a topic that it's pretty much popular right now. about GameStop, so be on the lookout hopefully soon. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite pickup was. Mine would probably have to be the Fire Emblem special edition box that I got right here. This is definitely a grail for a Switch collector, at least I believe. My brother has one, and I've always wondered how he got it. He was always on top of these niche special editions or whatever. I never thought I'd ever find this and add it to the collection, but very happy I was able to find it out there and to get it through, you know, trade. Not actually having to pay full price. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite pickup was. The rest of the year is looking pretty rough as far as my wallet's gonna be hurting, especially for the month of September with a new release console that's coming out that I'm very excited for to get my hands on. It's been fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.